As I was saying, your batteries will still be charging in the UK, because you can see themselves. It's a cloudy day outside, and it's still generating 1 kilowatts, and zero kill draw. And obviously, the reserve, the point 0.4 is going back into the batteries. 0.38 is obviously going into the actual house. So even on a cloudy day like it is today, your batteries will still be charging. So the people who say it to you that, yeah, well, it doesn't have, it needs direct sunlight, it needs a bright sun. It doesn't. You don't need to be in Spain. The UK is obviously good enough for this sort of thing. So you can work it out, how many units you're going to save a day. Typically, a house will have consume about 14 units a day of electric. 14 kilowatts, 1 4. And this is a typically four three-bedroom house. Few kids in there, obviously mum and dad, etc. They'll consume 14 kilowatts. Now, if your batteries themselves, you've got 7 in a row, they'll store 25 kilowatts, 24 kilowatts. Essentially, if the batteries don't charge for 2 days, you've got enough power in each one of the batteries to last you 2 days, and without the sun, without them charging up, etc. Now, if you've got a smaller house and this amount of batteries, your batteries are going to be last longer and longer, but it all depends on your usage and what sort of machines you have and stuff like that in your house, if you run your washing machine, etc. But the beauty of a system like this is, during the day they use the sun to charge them, which is free for now, before they added tax on them. But for now, it's free. And in the night time, when there's no sun, your batteries will be discharging into the house. So you'll be using your batteries. So this is an ideal system if you've got solar panels. The amount of batteries you need will vary on your usage. You could just maybe just get away with one battery if you just watch the TV all night, have a few lights on. But it all depends on how you use your energy. A smaller household will need less batteries. A bigger household will need more batteries. Just the fact, the more batteries you have, the more you can store. Um, a typical system like this will draw three kilowatts maximum. So obviously, if you think about a kettle, that's 3 kilowatts. So the batteries will power the kettle. All your other stuff in your house typically is a washing machine, which is 2 kilowatts, and you got other appliances like a TV, which is 200 watts. So essentially, if you had a one full battery, 3.5 kilowatts, you'll probably power your actual TV just on one battery about 7 8 hours, if that was the case. So obviously this is the capacity of the battery itself. So it's very good having these batteries by Pylontech have a 10-year warranty, so you're going to get your money back. So if let's go by, if you use 11 units, 14 units, 11 units a day, typically 14 units a day. You have your washing machines on, etc. That's going to cost you about £4 a day in the UK at the minute during the term with your energy prices. Now, if you times that by 7, it's about £30 a week. And now, if you got your batteries full, you're going to save potentially £28 every week of your actual energy bill, because the actual batteries will be powering the system. Now, the way these batteries work is they pick the load up as well. So even in the daytime, if you got some charge in the batteries will discharge automatically through the inverter anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're full or half full or even 10% full. As long as you got power in them batteries, they will be helping you to save money on your electric, whether it's night or day. So the way it works is simple, really. You got all your batteries charging up. They discharge into the house. The inverter intelligently decides when to charge the batteries, when to discharge the batteries, depending on the load in your house. You got more load coming in. Let's say you got 4 kilowatts of solar coming in. Your batteries are all full. Then the inverter itself will start exporting the energy that's being generated from the solar panels back to the grid. Now, this is just the way it works, because you can't put them into these batteries because the batteries are all full anyway. Like, these batteries are nearly full. So this is the way it works. The actual excess energy will be going back out to the grid. Now, if you've got a tariff where the grid, your electricity provider will give you money for every unit you export, then your quid's in. But it doesn't really matter, even if you haven't. It doesn't make a difference, because all you get is 5 pence a kilowatt, and so it's not really worthwhile. But back to the pricing on these. If you typically spend £28 a week on electric, using 14 units a day, which is about £28 in 7 days. You can work it out in a billing period of 3 months, which most electricity companies do. Um, you're going to obviously spend about £120 every month times by 3 months. So if you didn't have all these batteries connected and you were using 14 units, you'd be probably paying about £120. But because you got these 7 batteries connected and they actually are working to obviously reduce your energy bills, your typical bill could be £1 a week, or even a couple of quid a week, which is about what, 20-30 pound for the quarter, compared to like 120. So you can see the actual exact benefits here. We got over 70% saving of electric. Now each of these batteries do cost quite a bit of money, depending on which model the battery is and its capacity. But at the end of the day, it probably is worth it because they have a 10-year life, 6,000 cycle life. So you're always going to get your money back. Even on one battery, you get your money back in about, well, you can work it out, £120 per quarter, saving of electric, times 4, which is about 500. So maybe in 3 months you'll get your money back on one of the batteries, second battery, third, and so on and so on. So during a lifetime of 10 years, all this will pay for itself. No matter how much money you have spent, you will save that money on electric. And if you obviously keep an eye on stuff and make sure they're working, etc. And maybe, I mean, you can obviously have Wi-Fi connected to this particular inverter. So this inverter can be connected to your smartphone, and it can tell you when it's the fault, when you need to go and have a look what's going wrong, etc. Which in my previous videos I explain how to fault diagnose these particular batteries. But it's worthwhile getting, um, because the fact they do have a 10-year warranty. That's direct with the manufacturer um, of the batteries themselves. So you are quids in. Either way you look at it, you will save money, and especially if you got 16 solar panels on your roof, you will save money as well, because they're the ones that charge these batteries up for free. Um, a lot of people will obviously have a tariff where in the night time between 12 and 4 a.m., like Octopus Go, the unit rate may be 5p per kilowatt to charge the batteries up. You can set your inverter up, which is this thing here, to actually come on at that time and charge the batteries. But at the minute, in the height of summer, there probably isn't any point, because the batteries themselves will be charged up sufficiently to 100% just using the sun, which is free. Um, but obviously in winter, you would obviously look at going to maybe Octopus Go and a company like that, and even Bulb, which have a special tariff in the night time for charging batteries up like this, and obviously charging electric cars up as well. But like I say, even if you did that, even if you didn't do that, you would still save money in the year. And typically, I mean, solar panels will probably save you £300 or £400 a year if you just had them by themselves. 16 solar panels, they will save you about £300-400 a year. Whereas a battery system like this will probably save you above £1,000 a year. So that is a difference in actual cost that you're going to save. So it's worthwhile doing. It's an investment. It's better than having it in the bank. It's going to help you out. It's environmentally friendly. It's energy efficient. It's energy free. I mean, energy in the UK is generated by three sources. You've got nuclear, coal, and you got wind and solar. But obviously, wind and solar is not much in the UK anyway. Not for the industrial scale that they need to generate electric. So you are saving the environment. You are saving the earth. And there's no point sitting on roads, gluing yourself to like roads and stuff, because that ain't going to solve anything. Having a setup like this is probably going to solve a bit of it, not all of it, a bit of it, because you're relying less on the grid. So if you rely less on the grid produces less electric, and then it only gives you electric that you actually need. So if you got the system like this, you can save money as well and save the environment. They say in the UK, if everyone switched their kettle on at the same time, the whole system would crash, because there isn't enough energy coming from the solar panels, from coal sources, and even from nuclear. So having this sort of system, it's going to save you money in the long run. Obviously, my next video is going to be about a power cut, setting up an emergency power system where if outside you got a power cut, these batteries, providing they're full, or half full, even quarter full, you will have electric. And there's two ways of doing this, which I'll explain to you. It depends on your inverter if it supports emergency power system. Um, and you can go from there. Some inverters will not support emergency power system, where if the grid goes off, you've got a power cut, the inverter will go off itself. But this particular inverter, the SoFar ME3000SB, supports EPS, which is emergency power supply. So you can have it two ways connected, and I'll explain in my next video how to do that. Worthwhile doing, because there are going to be blackouts in the UK eventually, and maybe in a few months. And if you got a system like this, then at least you're able to like have a cup of tea, watch your TV, while all the other lights in the neighborhood are all off. So yeah, I'll obviously explain that in my next video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Any questions, ask. I can't cover every topic in one video, so it's always best to have comments and ask me questions about setups and things, about wiring and things. I'm happy to answer, but all I ask you to do is subscribe to my listings. Thank you. Bye bye.